Welcome to She Rolls Rogue, where it's no gi,
no rules,
no apologies.
And today we have Lily with us.
Hello.
Hi,
Lily.
We've talked about her a lot. So here she is.
I'm so excited.
She is here. First and foremost, I want to start the podcast out with a little shout out / if you can, for Makayla Mate. I said her last name. Mate. God, sorry, Makayla. I suck. But she completely tore her ACL and MCL and is probably going to need surgery, and she does not have any health insurance. So she has a GoFundMe out there. We'll post it on our story and in the page and everything. So if anyone out there is so inclined to donate and help her out while she is out of jiu-jitsu and work, because she also isn't working right now. So we'll drop the link for her GoFundMe, but just a little bit shout out for her if anyone is inclined. Now that that's out of the way, Lily! Hi! Hello! So I have said it before, and I have said it on the podcast before, that when I first started jiu-jitsu, I was terrified of other people. Especially other people outside of my gym, because I was not confident, and you and Rachel are good friends, and you came into where I was training at the time, and I was like, she's so cool, I want to be her friend.
Me currently in that stage.
I was like, I just want to be Lily's friend. And I had stalked your Instagram and seen your flying armbar.
The classic moment that will live famously.
And I was like, she's so scary, I can't be her friend. And for years, I was like, nope, I am obsessed with her. I want to be her friend, but I can't. I'm afraid. And I remember you asking me to roll that first day. And I was like, you want to roll with me? And you're like, yeah. I was like, me? We can't do that. So I love that you're here, because I've always looked up to you. I still look up to you.
Aww.
You're one of like the people in the community that I'm like, everyone go follow Lily. She's amazing.
You're making me sweat right now.
It's also a sauna.
I'm blushing. I feel so loved and supported. Well, and that's the thing, is like, I want everyone to know, like, I always have good intentions. Like, the girlies come first, especially the jiu-jitsu girlies. Like, I'm here for you all, the support, like, from day one. So that really means the world to hear.
No, it's I've always loved you. I'm like, I want to be Lily's friend. And then once we became friends, I was like, I'm Lily's friend.
I am absolutely honored to be all of your friends. Just because,
awesome.
like, this is such an amazing community, and the work you all are doing, like, the podcast is absolutely incredible. Thank you.
I actually want to say, I was talking to this guy at the gym the other day, at the other gym, and I won't say his name because I don't know if he wants it mentioned, but he was like, oh, you do the podcast? And I was like, I do. And then he's like, yeah, I listen. I'm like, no way, that's cool. And then he was like, oh, I've listened to the first couple. And I was like, hey, that's better than nothing. I'll tell you after. And Natalie and I are like,
who are you talking?
And then I was like, yeah, we're about to have a new guest on. And then like this week we're about to record, and he's like, oh, who? And I was like, Lily. And he was like, the Wisconsin legend. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then he's like, dang, that's cool. I can't wait to listen to that one. So we already got one. One fan.
I'm awesome. Blushing so hard.
But it was just a cool moment. I was like, yeah,
that is a cool
that's
moment.
Exactly who.
What is with all these? This is supposed to be a women's jiu-jitsu podcast, and it's all men. So thank you guys.
We love supportive males. Thank you.
It's good.
Wow.
I think it's cool
fun.
that they're listening.
I mean, that's fine with me. But girls also step up.
Right. This is for you.
I mean, come on.
But it's for the men too.
Yeah.
Like,
Whatever.
they're fine.
Listening.
We like the guys. We like supportive
them.
men. So
Yeah.
if you're not supportive, get the fuck out.
Literally. Bye.
Anywho, back to
Yeah.
you, Lily.
But apparently you're a legend. So
Yeah.
just so you know.
Which is such a crazy feeling. Like, I think about this all the time, of like little Lily who just wanted to be a little warrior pirate spy, and like to see grown Lily now is like, oh my gosh, like, I do it for you, girly.
That is awesome. So you are a brown belt now.
Yes.
So I want to start with how you got into jiu-jitsu and how long you've been training and all of that. But can you open the door? I'm dying. I'm sweating so bad.
We're all sparkling.
I'm just like, my armpits are dripping. Just leave it cracked a little bit. Time out. We're getting some airflow.
These will be in the outtakes.
There's no cuts. There's no cuts in this. So yeah, how did you get into the sport? Where did you start, and how long you've been training?
Yeah. So, all right, here we go down memory lane. The reason I started was my senior year in high school. So this was 2016, 2017, or no. Yes. Oh gosh. I'm forgetting what year it is. 2016. So I was getting kind of bullied, like nothing physical, but just a group of friends that I had for a long time decided I wasn't the vibe anymore. So that first day I go to sit down in the lunchroom and like no one's talking to me. And it really hit just this moment where I was like, I just feel like I need to start over. I feel like I need to outreach like a different community, school, like my peers just didn't feel like the right people to connect with. So I instantly was like, let me do martial arts. Like, let me embrace that warrior energy I always had. And partly because there was a part of me that thought, I'm going to beat up these girls. Now, that never happened. Like, the moment I started researching places, so Neutral Ground and Stevens Point, they were like 5 minutes from my house. So I was like, perfect. I didn't even tell my parents about it. I was just like, I'm going to go do a trial. I originally went for kickboxing. And when I came, I don't know if it was a schedule issue, but I remember them being like, sorry, we're not doing kickboxing tonight, but you could try our jiu-jitsu class. I'm like, well, I don't really know what that is, but I saw one other woman there and she's like, I'll partner with you. She showed me a rear naked choke and I was sold. I'm like, perfect. This is my thing now. This will become my entire personality. So yeah, back when Neutral Ground had a Stevens Point affiliated school, so a long time ago.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it didn't last the COVID times, but everyone there is doing well and whatnot. But yeah, there was a lot with that. A lot of things that at 17 I maybe shouldn't have been exposed to, I'll just say. But with that, and part of my journey is like experiencing things to be able to help other people. And so seeing kind of a variety of just with the environment and how we trained at that time to where things are at now and how I view training and safety. It's just really cool to see the evolution. So that's how I started. And that was the reason why. How I came to Milwaukee. So I can't remember if it was a seminar or if it was just like the quarterly time where John Friedland would come to the gym to promote and give stripes and belts. So I met him. I got my first stripe from him. And I was just like instantly, I don't have the right word for it, but it's just like the intuition where I'm like, this just seems like someone I want to learn from. I just felt like that kindred spirit. So when it came time to choose colleges, I'm like, well, I'll go to UWM because the headquarters of Neutral Ground is in Milwaukee, and that's very close to campus. So that was my determining factor because honestly, I didn't even know if I wanted to go to college. So that pushed me. I was going for pre-vet at the time, and then instantly was like, no, I'm just going to make jiu-jitsu my life. And that's what it became. I became the gym helper, taught kids class right away, and was just kind of a staple at that time, and then grew from there.
Dang. Dang.
Wow.
And you're still at Neutral Ground.
Yes. Yeah. That's like what I'd consider my home gym. But now my husband and I living in Waukesha will train at Nova and Pewaukee. So that's been a really fun experience. So we've kind of cross-trained all over. Cool. But yeah, Neutral Ground will always be home.
Cool.
Okay. I just learned a ton in that.
Yeah. I didn't know
so cool.
I knew
any
you
of that.
started at Neutral Ground. I knew that, but I just assumed Milwaukee. I didn't even know they did. Are you from Stevens Point?
Yeah. So Plover, which is like the
I
little
know
small area. Yes.
Avery goes to Stevens Point, so
Yes. And we've talked about that with like Elite there, and we've visited there. And anyway, so yeah. So this was
learned a ton.
way back then, 2016.
Dang. Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
That's like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think
Good
of
math.
2016 as like 4 years ago in my head. Like 2020 still feels like last year.
You're so good. That was such good math.
I didn't go to college.
She didn't have to even use her fingers that
I
time.
did maybe behind the pillow.
Was it when we had Peyton on? She was trying to do math. And
Yeah.
you could like see her.
I'm the same way. Math is not my strong suit. I'm a tangible, let me learn a physical skill.
Yeah.
The numbers and the logistics are a little beyond me.
I have
That's funny.
what is it, the right side? The arts and all that stuff.
The right brain.
Not the other side. That's just dead over here.
Oh my gosh.
You.
So you've done some competing. So did you compete at white belt?
Yes. I competed heavily as a white belt, had my accident as a white
Yes.
belt, the infamous arm break.
The arm break.
Can we talk a little bit about that?
Please. I love to trauma dump on that.
Let's both send on it. Let's hear it.
Okay.
I saw it. I didn't know who you were, but
That's
I saw
what's
it.
so crazy
Yeah.
is
It
so
was
many
nuts.
people in the community like were at that time, like they all witnessed it. So anyways, yeah. What I'll start with saying, it was my golden birthday. It was my 19th birthday on that day. So with that, and I've done a lot of like, I guess you can call it like woo-woo and just like looking into like Akashic records and all different things, and different ages of your life like are very symbolic. So this was really the turning point of like from 18, like, oh, I'm an adult, and like 19, like, okay, here we go in Milwaukee by myself. It's my birthday. My whole family's there. Like, let's go do it. So as we know, sometimes in women's divisions, you get pushed around a little bit because there's not always people in your bracket, and you move up, you move down. So I was put against, I believe she was a purple belt at the time, but we were in no-gi and just our weights and everything. And I knew her, so I was very intimidated. I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. And it's so funny watching that video because I look so scared. Like watching my stand-up at that time, I'm just so intimidated. And just like the energy around that day and just like people that were involved, like there's a whole backstory, but the main thing was when that happened of getting into that like mounted triangle position, I'm on bottom. You know, what I will say, because like we're friends now, like it's all, you know, you see people in the community, you compete against them, like there's no animosity, right? That movement, though, was done very quickly. And I wish I had time to tap because I know I would have, but you just see in the video of like, oh, arm goes back and immediately, hop, flops to the ground. And my whole family was there. And like, you can hear my dad in the background, like, get out of it, Lily, get out of it. And then everyone's like, what happened? What happened? And just my mouth like, and so I never really had a trauma, like a physical trauma like that. So just that journey and like having that experience, and again, the people that were there and involved, it was really an eye-opening, just everything. And it really kind of shaped me to get out of that point of like, I'll call it ignorance, because at that white belt phase and being one of the few ladies at the Eastside Gym, I had a little bit of too much confidence, a little false confidence there. You know, you're 18 going on 19. And so that was like kind of the rude awakening that I needed of like, this is reality, and just kind of starting over, because obviously I was out of training. At that time I was working full time as like a dog handler at Central Bark, and I was bussing around everywhere. So here I am in my sling, just like trying to do my best. And yeah, so the ups and downs, and the whole story around this is just kind of like growing through discomfort and how it strengthens your resilience, how those experiences shape who you are and how you help other people. But I do remember one little thing that I kept teaching the kids classes, and the kids thought it was so funny of me and my sling, and I'd be showing them the stuff from like guard on my back, so I didn't have to use my arm. And so it just like still showing up and being a part of the community, even not being able to like fully train how I wanted to. So yeah, that's the story.
Dang. Ouch. I have PTSD from it.
Yeah,
I wasn't there.
traumatize anyone.
So was that your first comp then?
No, my first comp was the year before, but it was the combat corner one.
Okay.
Yep. So this was my second time returning that. I believe I still had a couple competitions in between that, like a grappling industry or two. So that was maybe like my third or fourth time competing.
Okay. Nice. And then competed at Blue Belt. Mm-hmm. Flying armbar at Blue Belt. If you guys haven't seen it, go on our Instagram. It's still there. I looked.
Well, it's so funny because that became like my thing of like the acrobatic, like, all right, we're flying armbar, everyone. So it was cool to see in each ranking, like where I was developing my skill set. So yeah, competed heavily at Blue Belt, just local level, a lot of grappling industries, met so many of the women that we train with today. Jenna, Peyton, Rachel, like, so that's what's so funny is, and listening to the podcast too, of like even when they recall, like, yeah, little baby white belts. So yeah, and what's funny is as a purple belt, I only did one competition, and that was kind of the awakening of like, you're at a high level now, like you're going against high level women, so you got to kind of step it up if you're going to continue to compete. So I took a bit of hiatus, and then brown belt was kind of like, all right, let's get back into it.
Yeah, and now you've had 3 at Brown?
Yes. The JCI, that was my first one. I did the City Champs fundraiser, super fight, JCI again, and then Malice.
Okay, so 4. And then so lost at JCI, but you got a last minute opponent, like
Yes.
like 24 hours or something like that.
Yeah, like even less than that. So that was crazy of like planning for the person I was supposed to go for. I'm well over a month. I still was like, I think I was not the original person because Makayla was supposed to go against her.
Oh, yeah.
So I was put in her place. And then the night before, it was getting the message of like, hey, it's canceled. And so then I'm like, oh, man, of course, desperate me being like, I'll do anything. Like, please give me someone.
Yeah.
And then he does. And it's a professional MMA fighter. I'm like, oh, wait. But a wonderful experience. Didn't get hurt. Very humbling. A really good note on why nervous system regulation is so important. I walked off that stage, immediate bathroom cry, just like the just shakes, like adrenaline drop, just everything. And it's one of those things where I have specific modalities like to help with that. Like I have very high anxiety and the works. So yeah, just to be able to experience that and then to be like, okay, I want to try again. And then the second time doing JCI went very well.
Yeah. So you went to City Champs. You won that one. What did you win that one with? Was it?
That was with a triangle in the
That's what I
last
thought.
like 5 seconds of like, I think it was a 6-minute round or so.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was a very good match.
thank you. Yeah, I remember seeing you front row
Yeah.
too, and and Chris Moody is one of my besties too.
Yeah.
So we knew going into it like we're doing it for the kids, right? We put on such a good show, and that was just
really
so
good
cool to see like the skill set, and like we were just going like every move we're just checkmating each other, and so it was only at the very end that I was like, okay, Hail Mary, here we go.
Then we go to JCI and triangle.
Yes.
Again,
Yeah.
and a quick triangle.
Yeah, like 25 seconds.
Yeah, it was quick. I was watching and I was like, "Oh shit, Lily."
Yeah.
We turned it up a little bit.
No, I don't think so. Maybe. I don't remember.
We
were
were
probably
just texting.
texting.
Just like, did you see that?
We do that a lot. If we're not watching things together,
Yeah.
it's like constant text. Like, what did you think about that match? Did you think so and so won or so and so won?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you see that knockout on the UFC? Like, are you watching UFC today? Yeah, it's bad. So triangle win pretty quick at JCI, and then you just competed at Malice.
Yes, which beautiful event. You all did incredible. Like, I mean, all the competitors were so amazing. The venue, all the little details. Yeah.
Thank you. That was mostly this
Yes,
lady right
absolutely.
here.
Natalie, you did incredible.
She's the best.
She's the best.
I like to overplan. I like to overplan.
Thank you. Can you over enunciate?
I'm a little bit extra, but I don't talk extra. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Good job. That was so good.
Look how loud I'm talking.
We'll figure it out one day.
We'll figure it out. We'll get there eventually. But so you win in the first round, which what did you have in the it was a leg lock.
No, because I'm not good at
Said
leg
no.
locks.
Remind me.
So I had essentially like a guillotine grip, and I was finishing the end of it instead of just like a S grip with your hands. I was like rear naked choking
that's
my
right.
arms. So I ended up kind of finishing on my side, similar to like Anaconda, like Dar situation, but it was arm underneath the throat for the guillotine.
Okay, I do remember that now. Thank you for reminding me. And then in the cage,
Yeah.
a beautiful.
Episode.
She, let's just skip that part of Malice. And then she ended up having to go in the cage again and she
lost.
She got knocked out. No, your second round match was beautiful. It was like onto the back, jumps onto the back.
Like a jumping back
World-class
take to
back take.
RNC, right? Like
Yeah.
it was incredible.
It was beautiful. It was like have you seen those little jumping spiders?
Yes.
That's
they're
what it
adorable.
reminded me of. It was like, there's Lily, just like, here we go, and then here's our show.
Everyone went, ooh.
It was a highlight reel moment for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah. So, who's got a video of that so I can clip it into the episode? Cause
Yeah, I know. I don't know if anyone got the actual like jump of it. Someone sent me the last little bit where I was finishing the rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll live in our memories
Yeah.
if the video can't be found.
yeah, I'll have to search for it. But yeah, it was beautiful. And then you had to do a second round in the cage.
Yes.
Just because we had so many competitors. that we
Well, nobody knocked each other out, and we only had two
wins of distance. But
two
so
matches.
we had to use the cage some more, and then the finals in the pit, obviously. But you ended up. Who did you end up going against for your third match?
Melanie Iverson.
Mel.
Yeah, which was incredible. She's such an incredible competitor and athlete. So it was truly an honor.
And a good leg locker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that was a beautiful moment where I'm like, this is something I need to evolve in my game because I'm not well versed in that. So yeah, great experience. But even looking back at it, we had a good match. Like there was a lot of things where
beautiful.
I was happy to go against high level competitors and be like, okay, like I'm doing pretty well because the imposter syndrome, right? Where I'm like, my stand up's not good. I can't finish takedowns.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, all right, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really great experience. It was cool to be considered in like the top 3 in that bracket.
No, that was a beautiful match, and yeah, you deserve to be there. It was back and forth. So, and I think that's the thing that a lot of people struggle with is like, oh, do I belong there? We did an episode on it. Oh, you weren't here for that one.
I wasn't here for that one.
But we didn't.
I would have had a lot to say for that one though.
We tried to do one that
I just didn't make it.
But yeah, it's hard, but yeah, you definitely deserve to be there. Like you kicked ass that day.
You did.
Heck yeah.
I was just like,
I was fangirling in the corner.
Tori's like sitting on the cage.
I'm like my little white belt. I'm like, look at all these cool girls.
You're also a cool girl. Well, that's what I think was so cool too. Of like competitors aside of like showing their work and doing such a great job. Like it was such a great vibe to hang out and to talk with people and to see so many ladies that like, oh, I haven't seen you in years, and the in between catch ups and just like having a venue like that where you could just be anywhere and mingle. Yeah, it was awesome.
Everyone was hanging out too, which was cool because you don't really get to see that very often. Because a lot of times when it's those like big tournaments, everyone just has their matches and then they go off on their merry way. Where here it was like everyone had to be right there, and then of course everyone wanted to watch the matches. So watching the girls win or lose didn't matter, but then they're like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like that was a good match. It was fun. It was cool to watch everyone kind of just hang out and talk and get to know each other. So it was a cool time. But what's next? Are you competing anytime soon?
If there's something, I don't want to be like, oh, if someone wants me, but it's just more along the lines of I love summertime. I love getting to spend it with my family. So that's really taking the priority right now. I think I enjoy doing super fights the most just because it's a one and done. Like, I think I hate being like, I've out-aged tournament style, but just even like the back-to-back, I'm like, oh man, my body was not ready for that. And that's kind of the thing too. I knew that at a very young age. So I'm tachycardic and I struggled for a really long time being able to control my heart rate and control like the endurance and to help strengthen that. So over the years, like evolving and throughout different competitions. But yeah, when I hit that adrenaline dump, I'm like, okay, I need to just be alone right now and just really focus and meditate. So yeah, I'm like, if it's worth, it's a worthy cause, like a fundraiser or something, or if it's a good promotional thing, because really I wanted to just kind of help strengthen my resume for what I do teaching with self-defense and, eventually more like seminars.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's where, well, do you guys have anything before I go to the next thing?
About comp? Specifically about that? No, I don't think so. No? I have questions, but I think it will be better off suited to wherever you're going to segue right now. Yeah. So.
Segwa. Get it right. We haven't said that in a minute.
Segwa.
Sorry, I'm kind of on one tonight. I'm just really hot.
It's really hot.
I'm sweating. My knee pits are sweating.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, back to this topic at hand. So self-defense, but you're also a big part of, is it She-Wolf?
Yes.
So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
Where it is,
that
what it is.
That would have been my question. So.
Yeah. So She-Wolf Women's Boxing and Fitness, Milwaukee's like first women's only gym. It's a really incredible thing to see how much it's evolved. So the owner, Donna, she has such a beautiful mission. And so she started the brand She-Wolf before the physical building came into fruition. When it was the starting pieces, her and I have been friends for a while, just collaborators with self-defense stuff and that that community. So she knew my experience with helping with gym managing, and she offered to bring me on to kind of help the starting point with that. So yeah, I was helping her manage for the first year. And then as the gym so beautifully evolved and was expanding with more members and more coaches, I was like, I think someone else would be better suited just to really devote their time to managing the gym. So I became just more of a coach role. And yeah, it's been awesome being able to support it and seeing how much the community has helped shape that environment.
What do you coach there? Is it self-defense or boxing, jiu-jitsu, a little bit of everything?
So when I was coaching a little bit more, I was doing a jiu-jitsu class there. There was like an intro to jiu-jitsu, which also was kind of like a self-defense. It really evolved a lot because I think a big core of what that gym was founded on was like female empowerment. So self-defense was a little bit more in the beginning, and then being able to really focus on boxing and having the clientele to grow the boxing programs, which is Donna's main passion. So yeah, it kind of shaped a little bit more of that, but I was doing the youth boxing classes. So that was really cool to be like a boxing coach for that. And right now I'm just doing their 6-week teen summer camp. Okay. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, me and one of the other coaches, Delia, we've been a little co-team of helping young teen girls kind of shape their confidence. So that has an element of boxing, but it's more of like practical martial arts so that they understand the difference between training recreationally and then having self-defense skills as well. So yeah.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
And then at Neutral Ground, the women's program, Are you still running that?
Yes. So and I will say, because our black belt Des, so she has a class on Sundays at our Bayview location, and then I was doing every Friday, and now it's every other Friday. Just with the commute, living in Waukesha, it was one of those things where I had to make a choice of like, well, it's kind of a big drive to Milwaukee, so just kind of reestablishing like what was best for me and my schedule. But when we are there, the second and fourth Friday, any ladies are welcome. So it's at 6:30, and yeah, it's really cool that I always base the content on who's there with the least amount of experience, so people always feel comfortable coming in, that they always know they're going to be able to get something out of it, that they know but they belong. But what's funny is what started that, so right after like post-COVID-y times when everything was back up and rising, we put out a 4-week self-defense free program. So that was something that I kind of spearheaded of like wanting to build the women's program at Neutral Ground. And it was really cool to see that 2 for sure of the women that started on that first day, having no experience, just learning self-defense, they're now both purple belts at our gym. So it's just really cool to see how much self-defense does bring in women, but jiu-jitsu and environments around like being able to empower and being able to support, like that really grows. So yeah.
Cool. That is awesome. And you, I always knew that you had like a lot of involvement in like the self-defense aspect, but you've done like self-defense seminars too, right?
Yeah. So I actually have my own business, my own LLC teaching self-defense. So that was around, well, officially, I think it was like 22, but I started doing the work in like 2020. So I do seminars, I do corporate wellness, I've done security training for like Milwaukee Public Museum security guards.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's really kind of dipped into all avenues. What I love is there'll be a group that they're, let's say, for example, I did a group for dog walkers, and being able to tailor the curriculum for like what's applicable for what they see in their routine, giving them something that like, okay, you can utilize these skills right away. So yeah, I love teaching self-defense. It's always going to be in my heart and soul, and wanting to help people feel safe and feel confident, especially for women. And now it's kind of shaping into, I really want to get more into security training and almost learning more tactics of like what law enforcement learn. So we'll see what next adventure with that.
Do you, for anyone out there listening that would be interested, where should they contact you for all of that?
Well, and that's funny too, because I wish I had a beautiful website to show it off. I've got my Instagram that people reach out to me, so just Lily Beyer, I've got a couple of them. My like main profile, which is so funny because I spell my name Lillie, and then
was like, I thought I spelled it right. I was like, yeah,
which is so goofy. I did that like when I was a teenager. You create your Yahoo account. I'm like, well, Lily is
I'm
taken.
gonna spell my name this way now.
Mine was
to be cool.
Mine was Chelsea Rocks with a Z.
Love that.
4.
Nice.
So that's still on, I think, my Spotify.
I don't even want to tell you what mine is because it's so embarrassing.
You got to say it now.
Cheer baby.
Oh, that's good.
Well,
Okay.
that's going on your next rash guard.
Yeah.
If anyone out there has embarrassing emails or login names, drop them in the
Right.
comments.
The MySpace accounts.
Oh
And
my gosh. Remember you could pick your top 5 friends and people get butthurt about it?
I want to bring that back.
Yeah,
We need to humble some people here.
Anywho, people can reach you mostly on Instagram.
yeah, otherwise my number is public. It's on the Neutral Ground website too,
Okay,
in the
cool.
contact form. So yeah, text me, call me, email me.
Sweet. Yeah,
Meet
if
me
anyone.
if you want to reach me.
And
Yes,
the name
Kim
of
Possible.
that business.
Garden of Serpents.
There it is. Thank you. I was going to forget that part. Cool. So, yeah, if anyone out there is looking to have someone in for self-defense or I feel like teachers need to do more of it.
So many people. I mean,
So
there's-
many people.
There's so many. Well, and that's the thing. Everyone thinks self-defense is like a bad person's going to come and attack me. It's like self-defense is how you carry yourself, how you set boundaries, where you advocate for your space, like you building those confidence skills that projects into the everyday world where the bad, ill-intended people, they don't want to mess with someone who's situationally aware and like ready to respond.
Right. That's a big thing. And we were talking on the last episode about how people walk in the jiu-jitsu world. And I do notice it. I'm like, yeah, I'm walking like a badass. Don't mess with me.
I paid attention to it, especially at Malice, and I was just watching because it was just like on my brain. I was like, oh, there's a lot of girls in here, so I want to watch if everybody really does walk the same. And I was like, we really all walk the same.
Everyone walks
like
the same.
everybody walks the same. This is crazy. And then watching the last one with the guys, Fear and Loathing, I was like, yep. Yep, you can tell the spectators from the competitors and the coaches from the average Joes. And I was like, yeah, we really do.
That is funny. I do want to ask you a little bit about all of the like mental stuff that you do and like the anxieties of it all.
Yeah.
But before we go there, I want to talk specifically about your jiu-jitsu because it's a very fun style of jiu-jitsu.
Thank you.
Every time you're here, and obviously I'm not able to roll, I'm just like watching. I'm like, oh, I wish I could play. But you have like a very distinct style of jiu-jitsu. And it's so fun because it's so flowy. And especially the first time I ever rolled with you, I was like, I don't know where to go. She's always moving. Like, I can't keep up. I don't know where she's going next. And it's really fun to watch you roll with like a Natalie, who Natalie is working really hard to become really flowy, but she's
try.
You do an amazing job.
she's
Thank you.
got more of that pressure-y
I'm
style.
definitely more of a pressure-y.
So it's a lot of fun, and then watching you wow, I almost said walk. Watching you roll with like new people too. It's fun because I'll watch you, and I don't know if you know that you're doing it, but you kind of like help them move through position.
I will take people's hands and help them base flat because whenever people go with their fingers, I'm like, ha, safety. With your hand, put it down.
Yeah, not safe.
She's got her little safety check. We'll get her a sign.
Tap. That's my biggest thing of like, I just always want to be a safe role for people, whatever their experience is, safe and fun. Like, and it's so... It's cute, but I also feel a little bad sometimes when people are like, oh, like, I don't know if I'll, doubting themselves, right? And, they'll ask me, like, how long you've been training? I'll tell them, and, like, immediately, like, oh, no. Or they'll be like, I'm scared. I'm like, I will be the safest person you will train with. I promise you.
Yeah, no, your style is very floaty and fun and flowy. It's definitely, like, sometimes where I'm like, I'm being a spaz. I'm like, be like Lily. Just float. Like, it's very hard, but we're going to try it. So, I want to talk about the anxieties of it all, though.
Yeah.
So, because I'm very anxious. I know you're very anxious.
What?
Are you anxious? Do you get anxious?
I mean, I get a little with competition nervousness, normal nervousness,
in
I think.
general?
But as a general rule, no, I'm
Yeah,
not an
I was gonna
anxious
say.
person.
What's that like?
Tell us your ways.
Nice.
I will say, move this to Lily, but I will say I'm borderline too apathetic at times. Like a balance needs to be made sometimes, but I always say I have a very healthy dose of apathy. Like there's just this, it can be hard to care sometimes, and I think that lends to not being terribly anxious. So.
I think that's a great way to say it too, because you're protecting your peace. You know, like, I don't need to give my emotions to that. And I think that's a crucial part of like how we control anxiety, is understanding how much do I want to give to this situation. So when we internally regulate, that's where it's kind of setting the perception of like, oh, wow, I can just walk away from this. You know, I think about safety. Like, I don't need to give right now. If anything, this is better for me to not so much internalize it, like, especially if it is anxiety, sometimes that can be worse. But I just think about like, okay, let me slow down and like just think about what's going on. Like, I'm not in danger, right? Training the body to be like, okay, I don't need to be scared or, you know, intimidated right now. Starting with something physical too, like just taking a breath and like actually letting the body know like, okay, we're good right now. But yeah.
Do you find yourself, I guess, jujitsu specific, bringing it in, since you started jujitsu, do you find yourself less anxious?
Yes in so many ways, and also no, because it's funny. Like, the things that make me anxious in jiu-jitsu are watching other people not be safe. Like when you see things, well, and
Dude.
I just think about so often, because like at Neutral Ground, a good example is like our Friday afternoon class. It's poppin'. It's like known as like Surf Rock Friday. It's very fun energy. Visitors often come. I'm there and I'm just shepherding everyone, and I'm just like, okay, just on to the next one, watching, going and hurting people, making sure feet don't touch heads, heads don't touch heads. So the anxiety with that, but general anxiety, it has helped so much, because being able to slow down and regulate and recognize where I have so much choice in how I respond. And I think that's a lot of where we're at with this world of like, impulse is so quick, right? I have to do things right away. I have to answer that text. I have to, you know, and I fall to that for sure. And so it's just reminding myself of like, okay, yeah, like I can slow down. I don't need to do that. And that's actually something I've learned from John Friedland too. Like, he's such an awesome mentor with so many things. And we have our little weekly meetings for the gym stuff, and he always drops these little knowledge nuggets, and it's been really great. And I've personally been like, oh yeah, I'm using those things all the time of like, you don't need to rush, slow down. MGI is this big thing of like most generous interpretation. So someone's irritating you, something happens, and you're like, you want to blow up, of like, okay, let me just look at like, that person didn't mean to, you know, they're in their own world. Like, considering where other people are at to help yourself not get to that point of escalation.
Cool. I wish I could. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, how do you get to that point? Because I get pissed off so easily.
Oh, it's such a practice. I'm such a hothead. Like, I mean, that Taurus energy. Oh, I know. I have a lot that I have to control.
Not at all.
I don't believe you.
Well, and that's, you know, kind of the funny thing. Like, I wish I could show you a little snippet of what I was like as a teenager. I think that's such a great example, because like we talked about with like the arms situation, like I needed the wake up call. Like, I was going to be running down some weird tracks, and jiu-jitsu was the one thing that kind of like helped me coast and help like gradually shape me to being, I was always mature. Like, I was always drawn to like older people, and I was like, no one my age understands me, right? But, you know, so much of that was just kind of like the reality check at a younger age, and recognizing like, oh, I know who I want to be, and I know how I want to shape that person, you know, continuing to be kind and patient, and like all the things I admired in certain adults. Like, I knew that I was headed in the right direction by continuing to practice those little things.
I have a question that's okay. So you're a very like intuitive, I don't know how to say spiritual, but like
Yeah.
vibes and all that type of thing. And so how do you manage that? Because like I will get very gut feelings about certain people, and I have a really hard time getting that they're in their own world, you know, it's not me, it's them type of situation, and letting it like just be, when I know it's like, I know they're not a good person, or I know that they don't have good intentions, or yes, they're going to be around me, but like, how can I be around them and be decent when I like just, I can feel it in my bones that like they're, you know what I mean? In all aspects, like jiu-jitsu or life too, just with anxieties, and like just letting that like move past it, or try and like handle that.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a like great question, like asking for like advice of, you know, what are the things that I can do to make this slightly better, especially when you're like, I'm really in the discomfort. Well, and that's a continuous lesson I've noticed, especially knowing you don't care for someone's energy, knowing especially if it's like ill-intended energy, especially in the jiu-jitsu community. The biggest thing that I share is that I trust in myself to know that I don't want to be close to that person. So I always give physical distance because I know if I'm going to be right next to someone, like, ugh, that's just going to make it worse. And I know there can be situations where it's like, well, I have to be in the same room as them. You can always choose like where you want to sit, how you want to position yourself, and like kind of having those mantras ready of like, if you get those thoughts of like, oh man, something they said, or I can tell they're really trying to get to me today, of like, okay, well, the more I feed into that, the more I let them win. So if I can really practice neutrality of just focusing on myself, and like the more I focus on myself, the better things happen. And, you know, I just think about too, with, again, to the safety point with jiu-jitsu, is that if I have a gut feeling that like someone's not going to be a safe person, I'm definitely not rolling with them. And just, you know, practicing those boundaries really early on. I think jiu-jitsu is a great environment to be in the habit of that. And then while that practice is put into more everyday situations of like with coworkers and friends and family, just checking in with yourself of like, what do I need right now? And so often it is just space of like, I just need room to breathe. Like if someone's right up in my business, I'm going to be the one to like kind of back myself away. When we force ourselves to stay in discomfort, then we kind of get complacent to that idea of just like the negative energy around it. And then for those people that, especially if they are ill-intended, right, they start to pick up on that, and then it just starts to make the whole situation worse.
Yeah.
If that's helpful.
No, yeah, for sure. I'd say my other thing is just in general, I've talked about it with a couple other girls who've had like dealt with it in their gyms too, where it's like they have one person where they're just like, they're just negative and I just don't like being around, but they're in a really small environment where they have, obviously you always have the choice to like avoid, but it's really awkward because it's really small. And so she's like, how do we handle this? You know, in those smaller environments where to not make it awkward and obvious too, to make everybody uncomfortable.
Definitely. Well, and I will share because I've had many, many examples of this. Sometimes the right thing is choosing to be the bigger person to make amends. And what I look at it as like, okay, someone's making things weird and uncomfortable. Someone needs to address it. If the whole clan of people is like, hey, we don't like that you're doing that, then it feels like an intervention. People often get defensive. What you need is, you know, a neutral space or a neutral time to approach that person with compassion, right? Of the, you know, the MGI, right? Maybe something's going on. Maybe they're just really insecure. Wherever they're at, how can I meet them by saying like, hey, I've just noticed like sometimes the energy is like a little off. If there's something you want to share, I'm happy to listen. But I just want you to know like there's no animosity, like there's no bad vibes. We'd like to continue to keep things positive. If there's something, like I said, that you want to share with me or somebody else, we're all ears, and just knowing that like you have support. And oftentimes if those people really do have bad intentions, they're usually going to weed themselves out, because it's really hard to like shower someone with love and support and they're still like poo-pooing it away. Like that's on them then.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do.
Right.
I feel like,
that.
people tend to weed themselves out too. I don't want to go home. Tori's son is out in the hallway, and I'm going to assume Will is saying we need to go home. But yeah, I feel like people try to weed themselves out, but obviously there's times where it doesn't happen, and trying to figure out how to handle those situations for sure. I do want to ask, because you said if you can tell someone is like off and you're like, I'm not gonna roll with them. Have you ever been in a situation where you're rolling with someone, male, female, doesn't matter, where you thought things were going to be okay, and then all of a sudden it's like, ooh, it's not okay? And how do you handle that situation?
Yes. I've had probably too many of those, right? When we talk about listening to intuition, like the learned experiences, it's rare that I have it happen now because just that trust muscle is so strong. And I have no issue saying politely no to someone. But in the times where things have escalated, and I'll be honest, it's usually always with a guy. Like, I just feel like I can, in the moment, better communicate with women and kind of show them and model like what needs to happen as far as like turning things down. But with the experiences with men and where the ego is involved, like once it hits that threshold where I can tell they're being aggressive with me, I'll just get up and walk away. And there was one time in particular where I was training with a guy at a visiting school, and he came up to me and just size-wise and just energy, and I couldn't tell if it's like, well, maybe you're a gentle giant kind of thing. Like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, right? And then immediately regretted it. And so the way he like snatched up my arm into an arm bar, and it just was very aggressive. There wasn't technique or skill behind it. It was just ego. And not only did it scare me, but, you know, just like the physical danger with it. So I pulled my arm back and I stood up, and the adrenaline, I remember I was like, nope, I'm done. And I walked away, and he kept trying to come up to me. And I was just kind of like breathing and trying to calm myself down because I knew I was really worked up with it because I have such good trust. And so when it gets broken, I'm pretty upset about it. And so, and he keeps trying to come up and talk to me. He's like, I just don't understand. Tell me why. And I said, like, I need space right now. And I knew because I was like, I'm going to cry. I don't want to cry in front of you. But just this idea that, you know, so often, yes, sometimes people want to learn, but with jiu-jitsu, that life lesson of like, if someone's asking for space, like give them space. Yeah. And it's okay to walk away. It's always okay to walk away because if you know by staying, there's a chance of getting hurt, well, then you're not respecting yourself. So I think modeling that behavior, and that's again where like the language around it too, of like once you're calm, of just, you know, if that person comes up again and they're like, I don't understand, if you can articulate and if they're open to it, of just like, it's how we are engaging with each other, right? Like the energies. And sometimes we'd be like, what do you mean the energies? Like, that's so woo-woo. It's like, well, if I'm pushing like this and you're pushing like this, like that's different energy. So, you know, it's not always your duty to teach someone as far as like get to them and make them change. I will say if you're in an administrative role at a gym, that kind of is your job. But part of that is, you know, recognizing, trust yourself, trust those moments where when you feel like walk away, like make that action first. Like you don't have to give an explanation, especially if you're worked up or feeling intimidated or scared or you're in pain. Give yourself that space and be ready to like have support then too. And that's what I think is so great with gym cultures is often somebody else is clocking it and they're like, hey, checking in on you.
Yeah. I do feel like we especially have it here where you'll see someone come in rough and you're like, what are you doing? Why are you being like that? And if it's someone that trains here, a lot of times it's like, you having a shitty day or what? like what's going on? Like, I know people have said it to me before because I come in from a bad day at work and I'm a little bit more aggressive and they're like, huh. A lot of times I do say it first. So I'm like, hey guys, like I'm in a shitty mood. So I'm going to apologize in advance. But yeah, I've been in scenarios where I don't want to continue the role, but I have. Where I'm like, this guy, usually it's a guy. Sorry, guys.
Not always, but
not
most
really.
of the time.
Yeah. No, not sorry. Apologies.
No apologies. Most of the guys that we train with are respectful, but there's always going to be one bad egg in the carton, if you want to say.
That was great.
Shut up.
That was good. We said the right thing.
I know. But I've definitely been in those shut up in those scenarios where I do want to like stop, but I don't. And it's like I'm uncomfortable and then I walk away from the role, and it takes a lot in my mental capacity to not just be like, fuck you. I hate you. And I usually do give a second chance, especially if it's someone that I continue to see. If it's someone that I never see again, obviously I'm like, go away. I don't need to see you again. But if it's someone that I know, I go to open mats and they're always there, or they train in the gym or anything like that, it's like I'll always give a second chance. But burn me once, shame on you. Burn me twice, shame on me, type of deal. So but yeah, it's definitely, I think everyone can do a little bit better on like distancing themselves on, never mind, like thought this was going to be fine. I've got 3 more minutes in this 5-minute roll and I need to get out because I'm not going to be able to. I know, Natalie, you will sink people down into guard if you feel like they're being too much.
I am not really that much of a guard player. a little bit here or there, but I'm not a huge guard player. But if I'm with a guy that I feel uncomfortable with, I will try to hold him. And it's almost always, I haven't had a lot of like outright bad experiences. It's almost always a new guy who doesn't know any different. He just doesn't know any better. And so I'll just hold him in my guard and just try and keep myself safe. And that's I figured that's how I don't even try to attack, because I'm afraid if I do attack, I'm going to get hurt by his response. So yeah, that's how I handle it. I don't usually stop the roll. But again, that's probably an administrative side of me that is like, okay, I just need to get through this. And then usually like Ken or somebody will roll the next
That's
one.
usually where the eyeballs are watching
the
what's
Mad
happening.
Enforcer comes in. Yeah.
Just a little bit of and he's not like, the Mad Enforcer isn't there to hurt anybody. It's just to give that same energy back, so they go, oh, that's what I'm doing. Like, that's kind of where where he takes that role to let people know that this is how this is how it feels to you. Imagine how that feels to the woman who's half your size. So chill out.
I literally explain that, not necessarily in the like rolling like a douchebag way, but like the muscling around and the, when you just are getting worked by someone. I had to explain that to Will the other day. He was saying about something, he's like, just in general, you have those nights where you're like, oh my God, I just felt like I got worked all freaking night. Didn't matter who I was rolling with. And I was like, that's what it feels like being a woman rolling with men all the time, because you can just muscle us around no matter what. So every time, even if I know stuff, it just feels like I'm getting worked the whole time. So now, like with Ray and Will and some of the other guys that I like know, I just
bash them.
I just started, I'm like, I'll either be like silly and I kind of like tap them on the side of the head if I'm like able to, and I'm like, don't use your strength. Don't use your strength. And then, or I'll start the roll and I'll like slap bump and I'm like, okay, let's roll, but don't use your strength. Like strength and pressure and strength and muscling me around are like, there's a big difference in them. And I'm still a white belt, so like I'm still trying to learn all the things, and I want to start off with trying to like learn how to roll with all different people and be able to be flowy and not be spazzy. And so I don't want to be spazzy under you just because I'm trying not to like die because you're just crushing me because you're 80 pounds heavier than me and have 3 times the muscles. And so now all the guys are like, okay, I won't. And so then, but then once they start doing it, it's like, oh, if I start able to like work a technique or in something, and then all of a sudden they start, I'm like, don't use your strength. Like, no, you can't just throw me out of that position just because I got in there. And so I'm trying to learn how to use my voice right off the bat. Well, it's scary sometimes because, especially being a white belt, I don't want to be like, I know everything, because I don't. But I can tell when they're using their strength and when they're not. So
it's pretty
if I can just
a lot of times
yell at them, like, nicely.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is when they submit you from your closed guard, and I'm like, don't be that guy. That's not gonna work. You're in my closed guard. You're not gonna freaking head and arm triangle me from my closed guard. That's not gonna happen. So don't do it to me, because it's not gonna work on someone your size. Like, just because I'm smaller, don't do that shit.
Yeah, it's the Americana from closed guard too.
Yeah.
You get somebody who's way stronger than you, and it's not even an Americana. They're just like
Ripping your arm,
grabbing your arm and twisting. And I'm just like, don't do that to me, because you can't do that to anyone else.
Oh, for sure.
And so, but again, I'll give leeway to some of the new guys because they just don't know any different. But if you're a blue belt doing that to women, let's talk.
Let's have a conversation. Well, and I think that's such a crucial part of that, of like being ready to communicate your needs. And I think, even before it gets to the point of like having to walk away, like there are those moments where you're like, okay, I can tell someone's doing something, like let me just like try like speaking up just a little bit. I'm to the point where like I'm not worried about offending people. So when I'm
I
like,
love that.
I know how to say things with grace, but obviously when people aren't expecting, feedback or criticism in some way, you never quite know how they're going to respond to it. So I always just do like a little like check-in of like, hey, I wait till their eyes are looking at me. I'm like, let's just like take a breath. Like, we don't have to go this fast. Like, we're having fun. Like, we can relax a little bit, and just seeing where they are with that. And it's been a long time since someone's been like really apprehensive to me being like, hey, let's just like check in. Like, I'm not your enemy. I've said that to people before. I'm like, I'm your training partner. we work together. I'm not your enemy. You don't have to kill me. Like, it's okay. I'm not a threat to you. I promise.
I love that.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that is a really good way to put it. Love that. Takeaway.
Yeah.
That's going to be a highlight.
Not your enemy.
For women wanting to get into the sport, I do want to ask you about your husband too at some point. But for women getting into the sport, what is like your biggest advice?
My biggest advice for women getting into jiu-jitsu is research the environment you plan to go to, and also like try out different environments, because I think a crucial part is having support and having people that you trust. So back to the communication point, right? Jiu-jitsu is so new. It's so weird. It's so uncomfortable. There's like crazy, goofy things that happen. So to have just even like one person, it's like, hey, I got you. Like, you're okay to ask questions. Like, hey, you need help. Like, especially for women, right? Like, let me braid your hair for you. Let me show you what gear is going to be best. Like, having a person on the inside that can help guide you, I think is so crucial. And I know, you know, there's so many gyms, but there's still plenty that like, they don't have a big like women's population. So, and they're definitely like great, safe men out there too. But I think slowing down the process of where you initially see a gym, and instead of just like hitting that free trial and like going in right away, like talk to their admin, like ask them some questions, like really look at their schedule, look at some reviews, like look at their Instagram. Are there other women that train there? Just because I think so often there can be that peer pressure of like staying in an environment that's not right for you.
100%. I know you love when people say that, but that's a big thing is like pressure of staying where you start.
Yeah, we've talked about that in one of our like earlier episodes. Is like you don't owe commitment to anybody. You can leave at any time.
Yeah, that's good advice. I want to ask you about your husband, because you had a very interesting wedding.
Yes.
So if we want to talk about someone who's committed to the sport of jiu-jitsu, someone who gets married on the mats.
Yep.
How did you meet your husband?
So we met in that environment when I first came to Milwaukee. So it was in that first year. It was after January. So I think that would have been 2018 then at that point. I laid eyes on him and I said, that's the one. And I put myself right in his path and I said, hi, I'm Lily. Do you want to train with me? Because, you know, start a class like picking your partners. And right away I'm like, nope. Clock it. And I had a year of experience on him too. So I got to be the gal that's like, okay, I know this move. Like, let me show you this Americana from Mount. And, you know, ever since then, and that's the one thing too, I remember him telling me, because I'm like, well, what like made you, you know, what made you like me? And he's like, well, I liked your confidence. Like you came up with a nice smile and like you were ready to like engage and you were doing a sport, like a hobby, something you were passionate about. And that was really cool to see. I might be, you know, fluffing up the words a little bit, but something along those lines. And so like meeting at Neutral Ground at that Eastside gym and just kind of like where our journey started from there. And like the progression was not like necessarily a natural progression. You know, it's kind of one of those things where like, and it's so often like, don't date people in the gym. So it was like feeling it out of like trying to develop a friendship, right? And then, as time went on and we're like, okay, like we're doing this. And then, you know, years later and we're like, okay, you know, planning to move to Waukesha together. And then not long after that, like getting a dog together. And then it was just natural, like, okay, like let's get married and start our lives together. And something that was so important to us about that marriage and just like the ritual behind it was that, you know, we're not like religious people, but we're very intentional with our words and our action. And, you know, so much of that's around like weddings is like the stresses and the family and the people pleasing. And we wanted none of that. So to keep it super simple, we wanted the family we created, which was at Neutral Ground, like the most important people within that environment to be there. It was so relaxed. It was so fun. I mean, I think the most like special part of like, just for me, like getting done up is my friend did like cute little braids for me. Aww. And, you know, but like, I just think about for women, how much there is around the appearance of like marriage and weddings and just how you carry yourself to show up and just be like, I'm putting on my gi, like no makeup, like just braid my hair, like that be it. Like it was, I think maybe 11 minutes long, the whole ceremony, but we had like John do a little speech like at the beginning for it. We were very quick. My best friend was our officiant. It was ran just like kind of like a jiu-jitsu class and like open mat collaboration. We had a really fun playlist, and it just was a time to like play and be super present, and it was everything it needed to be.
That's so
I
fun.
love it.
Did you have another ceremony with family and friends after? Or?
Yeah, so we didn't do a full ceremony just because I'm like, I love my family. Didn't want to deal with that stress. So what we did instead was just like a reception.
Okay.
And actually, this is cute. So in Stevens Point, there's a restaurant, a breakfast restaurant, the Wooden Chair, right in there downtown. Yes, shout out Wooden Chair. We love you.
Best breakfast restaurant.
So they got new owners and they got a new chef, and they kind of renovated a little bit in the space, and they wanted to start doing like events and like have that be a venue. So my mom like was talking with them, and we were like the first event that they had was hosting our reception. So yeah, beautiful meal. Like that was probably the most important thing, is like we're eaters, we're good eaters. So we wanted a really nice healthy meal, like all the staples, all the proteins, just our like close core group of friends, which was just a few. I think it was like 6 or 7 people, and then just our immediate family members. So yeah, it was like less than 30 people. We did that little reception at the Wooden Chair, ate our meal in our cutesy little outfits and whatnot. And then after, we did a little after party at my parents' house in the backyard. So we had it set up with little tiki torches and outdoor games, and just played the speaker, and we were doing salsa dancing and just grilling out. So it was a really fun bonding time just to like celebrate and support. Yeah, it was great.
That's awesome.
I love it.
I hadn't met him until he came in for an open mat with you, I think at the last women's open mat. So it would have been last month, I think, because we do them on the first Wednesday.
Yeah.
But it was funny because you walked in and he was behind you, and Natalie and I were like, Lily! And we're like, oh, sorry. And he's like, I'm used to it. Like, it's the Lily show. Like, it was so cute because I'm like, I love a man that can just be like, yeah, of course, it's Lily. Yeah, I'm that excited to see her too.
Yeah.
It's so cool to hear that that's also seen, because that's probably one. I mean, I love so many things about him, but like he is such a supporter, and I love that he lets me shine and wants no part of it. He'd rather be in the shadows and be security than be on the spotlight. He could do it if he has to, but it's just so funny. Like, he's a big, tall, strong guy. Like, so often everyone like right away is like, oh man, like let me meet you, introduce you, and he's like, oh, like she's actually the one like teaching the event, like she's the one doing the things.
That's awesome.
And he helps me with my self-defense seminars. He's the body I beat up. And I just think it's so funny because with so many like self-defense and just things where like it'll be a couple or something, like, not that he couldn't be more a part of it, he has the knowledge, but just him being like, I want you to shine, like I want you to be the sole teacher, like I'm just your body, I don't need to speak, like so
that is awesome. That's, you see it, but I feel like you don't see it a whole lot, which it's nice to see it. And yeah, he's a huge dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How tall is he?
He's like 6'3", yeah.
I was going to say 6'3", 6'4", something like that. Yeah, I had never met him before. And when he walked in, I was just like, Lily. And then I was like, holy shit, he's tall. He's a big dude. But that is awesome. I remember seeing your wedding photos from the jiu-jitsu side of it. And I was just like, that's actually so cool. Because I knew he did jiu-jitsu. I'm like, what better way? Like, it's such a big part of your life. And what better way to tie it all together and everything like that. So... Yeah,
it's really just like a beautiful wraparound of like everything that I've learned through jiu-jitsu, like the highs and lows. That's been the greatest high of my life, like still living that high of like meeting him and like having our life together, and like jiu-jitsu cultivated that.
Yeah, that is awesome. Do you guys have any questions?
Well, I had some, but I forgot them.
Where's your notepad today?
Listen. I didn't even remember a shirt today.
That's true.
We covered all the things that I wanted to talk about.
Honestly.
She-Wolf and a couple of other things that I know that you do on the side, but you talked about them, Garden of Serpents and all of that stuff. Yeah. So, and we already talked a little bit of what's next for like competition and stuff.
Yeah. I guess, do you have something?
I was just saying my only, I guess, other really thing, which you kind of like touched on a little bit, but like coming from a white belt who's still like learning the ropes of everything, but knowing that like this will be forever in my life. What advice do you have for like, because you are so confident, and it's like she was saying, like you're someone I look up to very much, like all the things, your style, your jiu-jitsu, your personality, all the things. But as far as like your confidence in where you're at, like being, I guess kind of goes along with that like imposter syndrome type of thing. Like sometimes it's really hard to appreciate where I'm at because I'm like, I'm still just a white belt. But I also do like know things, you know? But sometimes I have a hard time being like, I don't know anything because I'm just a white belt, and having that like mentality, but still wanting to like have the confidence of like, no, I put my time in, like I've done this for 1.5 years now. I might not know all the things you know, obviously, but like I find myself struggling with that a lot, of meeting myself like where I am and having the confidence to be like show the things that I do know without coming off either like too cocky, because I definitely don't want to come off like that, or I don't know if that makes sense. Like what, and not just to me, but to like anybody else that might be feeling in that like white belt range of like gaining the confidence of like, okay, I am learning things, but I don't want to be showboaty, but I don't want to pretend like I know nothing type of thing.
Yeah. Well, one, just like what you shared, like is so valid at any phase in jiu-jitsu. Like what's the saying of like a black belt's a white belt that never gives up? Just this idea that like there's so much out there. I feel like there's more out there that forever like you won't know than what you actually do, just like comparison wise. But you know, over time you do learn things, and so much of that confidence comes from like the little habits where you are showing up for yourself, where you advocate for yourself, where you have a little ritual, have a little time to kind of slow down that process and like really appreciate where you're at, being present in that moment. And with that reflection of thinking like how far you've come, I always look at, I know you've shared this on the podcast, like with the young girls, right? Of like the way they look up to you, or someone on their first day and they're like, they know, you know, they're blank slate. And being able to like share just like those little nuggets that like it makes all the difference. I mean, we've all talked about how like someone can just so easily change your life just by a few words and just their presence and like being ready to support. So perhaps I'd say the biggest thing is, you know, understanding your mentality around your confidence is everything. It's not showboaty. It's not cocky to say what you know, to carry yourself with grace and poise and posture, and to show up and support people, especially when they know less than you. I think when sometimes people maybe shift into more of the ego side is thinking that they do know everything and they don't have things to learn yet, and just more of the mentality with that. But I don't really see that as much with women. I see that more on like the male side of things. So yeah, I think just shifting the mentality and reminding yourself like those little things of like on day one, like I didn't know how to shrimp. Like I didn't know, you know, just like the simple things. If it's helpful, write it out. Because I think when we see things visually and we can get it out of our head, then we have more data to really look and analyze. And I think a big part of, you know, analyzing all the pieces is that when you are going forward and you're thinking about the future, it can be really overwhelming. Like there's so many things out there, but sitting with like, where am I at right now? And look at all these awesome things, and look at the experiences that you had. Like, oh, I made a new friend at jiu-jitsu. Like, oh, I went to this women's event. Like, oh, my first time at an open mat, and this is how it went. So I think journaling is really important, because that is showing you when you get stuck in that imposter syndrome, like, no, I've been doing things, like, look at all these pages. And if, you know, that's not your thing, just giving yourself some type of outlet to be expressive, because those feelings are coming from somewhere. If we're feeling hard on ourselves, or, you know, down in the dumps, insecure, whatever it is, it's coming from a place where it needs a little bit of grace. It's that younger version of you that's like struggling. So showing up for her and being like, hey, like, I'm proud of you. Like, you came in today. Okay, maybe you didn't train the way you thought you were, but like a couple years ago, you wouldn't even be stepping into this gym.
I like that.
I love that. Thank you.
So I do have 2 quick questions. First one being, so
There you go.
speak a little
Say it with
louder.
your chest.
I got to sit up and talk with my chest. This is the apathy part of me. So you speak very positively, and that's very clear, and I love that about you. Like, you go through life looking at the positive things, but everybody has the negative on some levels. So I am curious what you love your home gym, but what, when you're out and about in the world and going to open mats, what are the red flags about gyms that will make you not go back to that gym for an open mat or whatever, an event or whatever?
Oh, I've got such a good one too, because
Okay.
it just instantly hit me.
Yeah.
Let's be negative.
So often Alex and I are going to gyms together. And we've had this happen a couple times where we go in as a couple. And typically, because of my administrative background, I do the research ahead of time. I'm reaching out to the coaches. I explain everything. Like, I'm basically the mouthpiece for Alex and I as a couple, right? And he'll walk in, say nothing, and immediately he'll get the handshake, the eye contact. Oh, nice to meet you. I just get ignored completely. And, it's one of those things where, like, I don't let it discourage me in the moment. I kind of just data collect of like, okay, I noticed that. But yeah, I think it's such a big one where I see the women not being supported, and that the women are just kind of like the sidekicks.
An afterthought.
Yeah. Yep. And, if we're going to invest, and I know Alex is a big advocate of this too, of like, if we're going to invest our time of like experiencing something together, he wants it to be a good experience for me because he can train wherever. Like, he's easy. For me, like, it's really about being, not so much appreciated, but just being present and like being seen. Because it's not so much that if I go to space and, they're like, oh, okay, like, thanks for training with us. Like, I hope you had a good time. Like, that's enough. Like, I don't need anything really more than that. But just having those moments where I've gone in and it's like no acknowledgement, rough training partners, like people that don't know how to train with women. Sometimes it's rare, but I've had women who don't know how to train with other women because they're so used to kind of the hardships within the environment of like, well, if you're going to be here, you got to train with the boys, and like the boys go rough. So it's, kind of our way or the highway type of mentality. And as we mentioned, my style, like, I like to be safe. I like to be playful. I want to enjoy that time and make connections. So when people are kind of shut off to that, and there's a culture that's just shut off to exposing people to something better, that's where I'm like, nah, we don't need to go back.
Good answer.
That's a good answer. Yeah, I like that. The other one isn't even about jujitsu. I'm just curious, what else? I know so much about your jujitsu journey.
Yeah.
I know you love your dog. I know, but what else do you like? There's, other stuff too, right? It's not all martial arts.
Oh, there sure is. Well, and I have that like very fun neurodivergent personality where I'll start 1,000 hobbies and projects and not finish any of them.
Okay.
So I love trying new things. As far as like core things that I really enjoy, art's been a big part of my life ever since I was little. So I love painting. I'm actually getting into more like commission pieces. So yeah, and just like really being intentional with like, especially because I've had friends like, oh, will you make me something? And I'll just sit, just tiny little details and just really be so entranced with it. So that's kind of like meditative modality. It's something that I enjoy. Like, I like seeing the evolution of my artistic skills and that creative side. So yeah, art. I'll say climbing, just because I'm such a like, if there's a rock, if there's a tree, if there's something I can get myself up on, like, I love climbing. It makes me feel so strong, and having my body like fully just focused on something and like accomplishing that task. I can't say like I love heights, but it's just more of this idea of like being completely immersed in what I'm doing. So yeah, climbing, swimming, like we just got kayaks too, and we've taught Freya how to sit in the kayak. So we've only done it a couple times, but now this is going to be our summer of paddling with her on the kayaks and going and adventuring new places. I'm kind of a simple gal. Like, I really just like being out in nature. I like spending quality time with people, especially getting to try new things. Dancing has been really fun. I've done a few different types of dancing. Like, I grew up with dance. When I was little, I wasn't good at it, but I was very theatrical. Now, like, Alex and I have learned a little, like, kind of like West Coast swing. We've kind of adapted our like own style of dancing, where it's like very heavily jujitsu influence, where we like know how to grip and grab and kind of move around each other.
That's so fun.
I love that. Yeah. It's so cute.
Random back take. Wait.
Well, I'll just share this quick. There, a very funny time where So a jiu-jitsu friend of ours goes to these swing dancing events, and it's definitely geared towards like older people. I mean, we were the youngest people by like several decades, but it was the sweetest time. It was so cute. It was great. First time we went, we had a pretty fun time just because there was like more space. Second time we went, it was like one of their last events. So everyone came out. Everyone's on the dance floor with their walkers and their canes. They're doing everything. So we were very apprehensive about kind of like moving the way we normally would, right? And we're like, wow, we're really kind of like wallflowers right now. Like we just don't want to be like out on the dance floor. And so they did like an intermission where the band stopped playing and they just put on like whatever their normal playlist was. And there were some songs that we like recognized. So no one's out there, and we go out and we just start cutting a rug, and we're, you know, getting big and just theatrical. And so we realized like, oh, it's not so much about like being seen. We're just so safety oriented that we're like, we can't knock over these old people. Like,
That is funny.
yeah.
I'm sure they appreciated that too.
Yes. No broken hips on the dance floor that day. That was funny. All right. Well, we're at an hour 15.
Oh, goes
Yeah.
fast.
Time flies.
It
yeah.
goes real fast. But I know we've done a tap in Tuesday slash Thursday with you, but we'll do it again.
Yeah.
And we'll throw some other ones in there. So would you rather gi or no gi?
Gi. I know I always say it begrudgingly because I've come to love no gi, but there's just so much that I enjoy doing with the gi.
Yeah. Would you rather win by submission or points?
Submissions, little showstopper right here.
Jumping on the back and going for a naked choke.
Flying arm bars. Yep.
Flying arm bars. Would you rather wrestle or pull guard?
Pull guard. My stand-up needs work, and I know that.
That is funny. Favorite submission?
I'll say the triangle because I really have come to be able to snap that in from different positions. So it's a little unexpected. Like I used to do it a lot when I was younger. It was like, oh, kind of classic triangle. Now it's evolved into a more like dangerous game. So that's been cool to see.
Okay. Cool. Would you rather train in the morning, afternoon, or evening?
Afternoon is like prime time, especially the like afternoon classes we'll do at Neutral Ground. Like on Wednesdays is like perfect, not too many people there, but like high level people, sunshine coming in, and then you still have like a great night and a great evening to rest.
Yeah, for sure. Would you rather train in shorts or leggings?
Leggings, I need the coverage.
Long sleeve rash guard or short sleeve?
I kind of like the long sleeve. I mean, if I got a good pump on the day, I'm like, okay, maybe short sleeve, like show off the muscles a
Show
little
off the
bit.
guns.
But yeah, I kind of like just being sleek because I feel like it's harder to hold on to. But if you're in the gi on a hot day, I've got to do shorts and like short sleeve underneath it because the layers, the heat too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Would you rather train with or without music?
With music, always. I've found it so fun to like really find the beat and then be able to like move and like really become present with it. I think that's really developed a lot of my style was like I was just dancing and playing.
That's when I'm back on the mat, I'm gonna be trying. Have no
dancing.
rhythm, so
It's gonna be super like moving.
the robot.
I definitely sang in Beth's ear today. I was like, sorry. I don't remember what song it was.
Oh,
But
that is funny. And then one last one. What is your favorite brand of gear to wear?
My favorite brand would be Alchemize through and through.
There it is. I wanted to give them a shout out.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out Alchemize. You're doing the work. We love you.
Awesome. Well, I think that is all. Do you have anything?
Just so much appreciation. Like this was such a great experience to chat with you all. I mean, I know we've been friends for a long time, but especially having the women's open mat before and being able to kind of like settle and like reflect is just so incredible. So thank you all.
Thank you for coming on.
you
We
for
really
coming
appreciate
on.
it. We've been
a
looking
long time
forward.
coming.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to this one. So, but on that note, I'm going to remind you guys to always
Roll
Rogue.
Perfect.